Disney versus the Force. No, not the Star Wars Force, even though Disney now owns Star Wars, isn't having a pretty nice weekend. I don't know if you guys have heard anything about this new movie that's coming out. Actually, what I mean instead is Disney versus the Force of America's love of guns. Disney announcing they would begin screening guests at Disney World and Disneyland with metal detectors as they try to keep customers safe in their parks. They're also going to randomly select incoming guests for secondary screening, sort of like what you go through at the airport. Universal Studios and SeaWorld are also following suit. In addition, Disney will no longer sell toy guns or allow them into their parks. They're also banning adult guests from wearing costumes. And look, I think we can all agree that this is a good idea from a safety standpoint, the same way that you go through screenings like that when you go into a ball game or something like that. But is this where we are in the country? Like, it's just metal detectors and trying to do whatever you can. This is where we are? We're like one step closer to Tel Aviv, Jerry?
Well, first off, I think they should have banned adults wearing costumes years ago. So if you've ever been there and seen an adult in costume, it's not a pretty thing.
I'll grant you that.
But, this is where we are today. And I think, if it's going to keep people safe, it's going to keep families safe, I'm okay with it. And I'm sure Disney can probably, teach us a few things about efficiency and safety.
I just looked at this. Again, I understand they want to keep people safe who are coming in, but it seems like we're attacking the what do you call it, the symptom as opposed to the illness here.
Well, I think you're right to an extent, but my guess is that people will feel more safe by having it there, and that will attract more people because they don't believe that guns can get in there. So there's that dual.
So where does this go from here? Is it metal detectors already on a plane? What about on the train? What about on the subway? What about walking into a skyscraper? Is this going to be everywhere in our lives? It seems like that's where we're going if we don't actually start taking steps to reduce the amount of guns that are around.
Well, reduce the guns. I think we all agree on that. But what's wrong with Disney World putting the metal detectors? I mean, safe rather than sorry. Safe rather than sorry. I remember that's why when we had the debate over surveillance cameras, you guys screamed bloody murder. I thought it was an excellent idea. And now look at what's going on. Now it's become part of the American norm. The surveillance cameras everywhere where you can basically do no crime for the most part because somebody's going to pick up part of the video. It's the times we live in, Andrew. What's the alternative?
Well, I guess my question is, again, how much further does this go?
Well, that's it.
Is this going to be? I mean, we already have a lot of schools where you have to go through a metal detector. I would have hated to have to go through a metal detector
Well,
to get into
think
school.
of all the soft targets we have. Malls, for example, where people are shopping. You're going to have metal detectors there. College campuses where these guys were talking about trying to hit. Do you have metal detectors in every room? Or every building?
Well, that's just it, Scott. You can never get rid of all the soft targets. So you can't prepare to defend every soft target. You have to go after the cause, I would think. I don't know.
Well, I think what is unique here, it's not the government saying we got to, put metal detectors everywhere. This is a private company that's saying, you know what, this is good for business. This is, we're going to ensure your safety. We're going to do our best job to do that. So I think that's a fundamental distinction. You probably can't prevent every incident from happening. You can't, safeguard every single location, but you can minimize it.
I mentioned Tel Aviv earlier, and I know that's the other extreme to all of this, where they're always targets for terror. So you see people, army soldiers with machine guns everywhere. Is that what we want? Is that where we're going?
Well, it's where we are at, unfortunately. And if you go to New York City to have a nice time, you've got it all over the place in New York, and yet some people feel safer there. A lot of folks going to see the Tree, for example, or other places where lots of people are, I think feel better seeing some of these military-looking police officers. On the other hand, just one other point, my guess is that in the future, technology will take care of these metal detectors. You'll have other ways that are almost unseen to be able to check coming in and going out of soft targets.
Maybe one of these days we'll actually focus on reducing the number of guns. We want to get you involved in this conversation. Head over to Facebook and Twitter. Sound off on our question tonight. Metal detectors at Disney, new reality or sad commentary on guns in America? And it dawns on me, those are not mutually exclusive choices. You can have this yes answer to both of them. Gentlemen, many, many thanks. Terrific panel tonight. Have a great weekend. Really appreciate you being here. We're going to take a break on RFL. When we come back, our Hudson Valley headlines.